Hello class, welcome to the English lesson with Teacher Kathleen. So again, I am Teacher Kat and I will be teaching you today. So today we will be discussing a very important lesson. So you should watch out, okay? You should listen and participate, okay? So for today, our objectives is for you guys to be able to first identify what are the 4 elements of a fiction story. Next is for you guys to compose your own story with the 4 elements of a fiction story. And then the third objective is that for you guys to be able to integrate your own experiences to the 4 elements of a short story. So yes. So are you ready, guys? Are you ready, my students? I know that you are all ready. Yes. And let's go now. So for today's discussion, we are going to identify the elements that make up a story. So yes, this would be the topic for today. So in the 4 elements of a story, there is the characters, the settings, the problem, and the solution. So we will be defining each of them, okay? So the first element is the characters. So again, let's read the definition of the characters. The characters are the individuals that the story is about. The author should introduce the characters in the story with enough information that the reader can visualize each person. This is achieved by providing detailed descriptions of the character's physical attributes and personal traits. Every story should have a main character. The main character determines the way the plot will develop and is usually who will solve the problem the story centers upon. So take note, every story should have a main character. So the author would describe the character very vividly, and she or he will use their physical attributes and personality traits to describe the character for the readers to visualize them through their imagination. So again, let's go back. The next element is the settings. So the setting is the location of the action. An author should describe the environment or surroundings of the story in such detail that the reader feels that he or she can picture the scene. Unusual settings such as fantasy world can be interesting, but everyday settings can help a reader to better visualize the story and feel connected to the plot. So yes, when we are talking about the settings, it talks about the location, the place where the story happened. So yes, and also it talks about when did the story happen. So next, let's go back. The third element is the problem. So every story has a conflict to solve. The plot is centered on this conflict and the ways in which the characters attempt to resolve the problem. When the story's action becomes most exciting right before the resolution, it is called the climax. So take note of that. If every story has a main character, every story also has a conflict to solve. The conflict is the problem. So the main character will solve the problem at the end of the story. So that is the usual type of story that we see, that we read or that we hear. Okay, let's go back. And for the last element is the solution. So the solution to the problem is the way the action is resolved. It is important that the resolution fit the rest of the story in tone and creativity and solve all parts of the conflict. So yes, the author should align everything from the elements, from the character, the setting, and the problem. The solution that will be happening at the end of the story should be related to what happened at the first part of the story, and that is, the last part would be the solution. So the character will be the one who will resolve the problem and would think of the solution that the story needs. Okay. So let's go back. So to next, we will be having a review. So again, there are 4 elements of a story, okay? So the first one is the character, settings, problem, and the last one is the solution. So as a review, we will be clearing things out. In the character, we will be answering the question who and what. So who is the main character in the story? What is the main character in the story? So a character could be a person, it could be an animal, it could be anything, as long as it is the main protagonist or antagonist. So they are part of the characters. Next is the settings. It would answer the question where and when. So again, it would answer where did the story happen? When did it happen? So yes. Next is the problem. It is the conflict that will be resolved, that needs to be resolved. So every story has a conflict or a problem. So you should always remember that. And then the solution, which is the last element. So it is the resolution. It is the solution to the problem that arises that the main character would resolve at the end of the story. Okay, so that's it for our review, and now it's time for an activity. So let's sort it out. Now we will be determining if the statement is under the character, the setting, the problem, or the solution. So there are statements here. So the first one on the line is the dusty surface of Mars. So what do you think? Is it under the character, the settings, the problem, or the solution? So let's hear your answer. So let's see if your answer is correct. Okay. The dusty surface of Mars is under the setting. So yes, if you are right, congratulations. So let's go back. Next here, the princess diamond necklace fell into a deep crevice. So what is the answer? Is it under the character, setting, problem, or the solution? Okay, let's see if your answer is correct. The princess diamond necklace fell into a deep crevice is under the problem. So yes, very good. And then let's go back. The dog was lost and couldn't find its way home. So what do you think it is? Let's see if your answer is correct. Yes, you were right. The dog was lost and couldn't find its way home is a problem. Wow, you're getting better at this. So let's go back. Three Little Pigs, what do you think? Is it a character? Are they a character? Is that thing, a problem, or a solution? Okay, let's see. Three Little Pigs is under the characters. So yes, you're right. So let's clap our hands for that. And then again, let's go back. She found her way home. What do you think? What is your answer? Let's hear it. Wow, you're right. It's solution. It's under the solution. She found her way home. Okay, let's go back again. He glued all the broken pieces back together. Okay, what is your answer? Okay, you're right. It's in the solution. So again, let's go back. Next is the Goldilocks or Goldilocks. So what do you think? Is she a character? Is it a setting? Is it a problem, or is it a solution? So let's hear your answer. Okay, let's see if you're right. Yes, Goldilocks is a character. So it is a character in a very famous story. So let's go back. She ate the bear's porridge and broke baby bear's chair. So what do you think? What is your answer? Okay, let's see if you are right. She ate the bear's porridge and broke baby bear's chair is under the problem. So yes, very good. You got it right again. So let's go back. So October 1st, what do you think? Is it a character? Is it a setting? Is it a problem, or is it a solution? Let's hear it. Okay, let's see if you are right. October 31st is under the setting. So yes, good job. You're really getting better. An evil king is the next one here. So an evil king, what do you think is the answer to this? Yes, you're right. He is under the characters, of course. The big bad wolf blew their house down. So what do you think? Where does it go? The big bad wolf blew their house down is under the problem. So yes, very good. So the last statement here is that the lost fish was reunited with his buried father. So let's hear your answer. So the lost fish was reunited with his worried father is under the solution. So yes, very good. You did a great job. So yes. Okay, that was wrong. Next. So now for your assessment, here is the link to our Quizlet in Quizizz. Okay, there are five items each. Okay, so thank you for your participation, class. Thank you for answering, and thank you for listening to Teacher Kat. So do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? So if there is none, so this is your assignment, okay? Take note of this. At home, integrate what you have learned to your experiences in life. What are the happenings in your life that you can compare to the elements of a story? So we will be checking that on the next meeting, okay? So thank you. See you again. This is again Teacher Kathleen, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.